And that attitude of action and keeping going is incredibly important. Confidence, common sense, and community. You've got to have confidence. I mean, I'm taking on an established 101-year-old shaving brand that everybody believes is the best a man can get. Now, I believe it's the best your dad can get, and I believe that it's a little overpriced for what it is. As the Daily Mail picked up a couple of weeks ago when they called out the margin, the markup that it's on. And it's in that position because it's got a monopoly position. And often you think, well, how can I challenge a monopoly? And actually a monopoly position, as Richard Branson found when he challenged BA with Virgin in the 25 years ago in the mid-80s, actually, you can challenge that position if you've got a better product, better priced, people want to fly it, they want to be in it, it's priced for profit, it's priced for sale. And you only had to see Richard's comments about BA and Willie Walsh in Sunday Times yesterday to realise that Virgin as a brand still has a great intrinsic and ongoing value, and BA is looking a bit like GM. And that's a big problem for BA. It genuinely is, because it's got to reinvent itself out of the space it's dialed itself into. And let me tell you, that's turning a supertanker around, within 300 yards and taking it the way it came out. And that's a big issue. And I think you're all small. Well, we're all pretty small companies. I think Simon's probably the biggest in terms of his revenues. But you've got to use that flexibility, fleet of foot behaviour to get around stuff. The community, it's great to see the Go8 piece about there, the word of mouth. I call it the word of mouse, because what you've got out there now are free, what I call social connection technologies, that you can blow out worldwide how great your business service brand is. And the YouTube phenomenon, the Twitter phenomenon, which I use incredibly a lot now. I've come away from Facebook, so I serve up into Facebook via Twitter feeds, the Facebook advertising stuff, and then there's a new site, you may have come across it, called blurp.com. Anybody come across that one yet? BLERP.com. Well, look it up. It's very clever. It allows you to post basically a blog over a company's website, and then people follow you and then comment on that comment. And it's very clever. And all of that's happening massively quickly now. And if you're not in that space and learning and doing it yourself, I personally use TweetDeck to do Twitter myself. It's quite full on. I probably spend 2 hours a day using it. But that allows me to leverage the brand out via the brandroyalty.com blog, the shave.com blog, etc., etc. And then there's Enthuse, Exceed, Enjoy, which for me is like a 15, 16-year-old saying, enthuse about what you do, exceed at it, be the best you can be, and enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy it, nobody else is going to enjoy it along with you. A brief bit about PR. I had to sell 10% of my company to fund our first PR campaign. So that would probably be worth about, £3.5 million now to the PR company. I asked if they'd take it in shares first, and they said, no, well, we think we like the cash, thanks, mate. So they had the cash, but to our satisfaction, we're working with them 16 years on after launching. Success is accessible, and it's very important that you keep that close to your heart. You look at a Virgin business or a Phones for You business or a Charles Dunstan business. All of those businesses were small businesses once. Some of them not so long ago, some of them many years ago. But everybody was small once, and everybody started out. But if you want to get into a business which is almost likely to be a big business, it typically normally involves some sort of product, then some sort of knowledge share, as all the internet plays have recently demonstrated, or some sort of knowledge communication. A brief bit on the company. It's structured very simply. It's basically an axle, which is me. There's a wheel around the axle, split into 4 bits. One bit's called Branovation, which is brand innovation. One bit's called Smarketing, sales and marketing. One bit's called Props, production and operation. And one bit's called Money, because I couldn't think of anything clever for the money bit. And a guy called Tim straddles sales and marketing, smarketing and branovation. He looks at what I and my team are developing to launch and works out whether he can sell it. And then a chap called Andy, who's been with me 15 years, straddles the branovation and props piece to make sure what we're designing, what we're crazily coming up with, that it can be manufactured. And it's very simple strategy, and it's always rolling. Just a couple more pieces. sort of like saying, same but better. You know, same but better. Whatever's out there, people like the familiarity of same, but they like better. And you only have to look at the big press furore about the Apple 3GS that's just launched. My head of design bought one because it's the next thing. And it's essentially taking the same product and making it better and better and better and better and better. And that's fantastic. There often isn't a great deal of value in true originality. There is a great deal of value, as the Innocent guys did, taking a fruit juice, making it out of real fruit, selling it at a premium price and convincing people that it's good for their health in a very clever, very consumer-centric way. Any of the companies could have done that before the Innocent guys did it, Tropicana, whoever, but they didn't, Del Monte, whoever. But those guys went out with their proposition and did that. And change constantly, that's one of my favourite sayings, keep changing. Because, again, when Simon talked about PR, PR people are only interested in new. And if you're always changing constantly and throwing off new, then you can almost certainly guarantee yourselves good relationship with journalists, good relationships with the media. In fact, if you bookmark moneyshavingexpert.com, you'll see what we're coming up with, which is new, which is coming out very shortly. And I'm always pushing those boundaries, and so many people sit back, especially if their companies, big competitors run by accountants, sit on their hands, run the P&L, assume they're going to nail a 95% GP1 until the cows come home and pay down the debt that they've taken on to buy the business. And the reality of it is that that business can disrupt and disintermediate at any time. And that's sort of there. So it's been a 16-year journey. I'm sort of about, I don't know, a third of the way through it maybe. I believe in my lifetime King of Shaves will be $1 billion value brand. Many people sort of say, well, that's a bit bigger than you currently are, Will. And I say, well, so what? I know that's where we're going and how we're doing it. And I've only got 2 competitors to keep my eyes on. And they're both big guys out there being very successful. So I'll carry on doing what I'm doing. It's a pleasure talking to you all this evening, and I'm sure we'll be taking lots of interesting questions to help you in growing your own business. So thank you very much.